there! Welcome back to the Rare Book Views channel, where I talk about how much I love books, unusual, rare copies of books, and unusually good bargains on books. I am a bargain shopper. I do want to thank everybody who has said kind things to me about this effort. It is so great. It really restores my faith in humanity. In a stressful week, when I come home and there's a comment or someone who has subscribed, somebody tells me about what they're reading, I really love it. So thank you to everybody who has done that. Today I'm going book shopping, and I also want to thank everybody who's supporting that because it gives me another reason to go book shopping. I don't really need one, but I also don't really need more books, but I kind of want them. So I am looking for unusual copies. I mostly collect really nice copies of books that I loved when I was a kid. So I have some authors and some illustrators that I really remember reading and loving as a kid. And we were library goers. We did not own copies. So I don't have any copies from when I was little, but I love to find a nice hardcover, a nice early edition, something vintage, of all the things I loved. I also really like classics. And I think if you're gonna read a classic and you're gonna take on a little bit of a challenge, it should be a nice copy. So I'm looking for those treasures at a good price. And then I have a long list of popular fiction and nonfiction that I want to read because I read a review or someone told me it was good. So I have that list of things that I'm looking to read that maybe the wait list is long at the library. And then I have wish lists from friends and presents to shop for. It's really a ton of reasons to go shopping. I'm going to a Friends of the Library bookstore. I think many libraries have this where some books don't make it to the library circulation. They end up getting sold to support the budget for the library. This is not your average bookstore for the library. This is not a shelf. It is an entire standalone bookstore. It's not even attached to a library. The people who donate are so cool. It's giant. It's a thriving business, really. It's gigantic. You never know what you're gonna find. They have a lot of popular books, but then they have really nice copies of books. Sometimes you can find something really great and special. The pricing is extremes. It's either this is an incredible bargain or what were they thinking, and it's out of my price range. So it's fun to look at stuff I can't afford, and then it's really fun to see what I can find. And I'm excited to go see what we can find today. Let's see. Day at the bookstore. So much has changed since the last time I was there. They used to have these giant bins of books waiting to be priced and shelved, and they've expanded. I don't remember, I feel like they expanded a while ago, but it seems that now all of those books waiting to be shelved are sort of off the floor. So there's a lot more room to move around. I hope it doesn't mean they have less books, but it was a really great trip. I found really cool things. I found some treasures. I found this for my friend. Her kids like these books, these Who, What, When. This is Who Was Jackie Robinson. These really kill me. I think I would have really liked this when I was little. I like it's very, the tangible quality is really good. It feels really good in your hands. It feels like this is something cool. And I like the illustrations, pretty good. pretty enjoyable. I would have loved this series when I was a kid. The price on these, $5 for this one. I've seen them up to $8, and it's not very large. So this was $2, and I find these all the time for $1 or $2. At one point, we bought a bunch for my friend, her son who loves these, the school teacher that teaches his class. She is funding herself the classroom library. I don't have children, so I am happy to support children reading. And I collected a whole bunch of these because $1 or $2, she was paying full price for these. I don't even think she was getting a teacher discount. She was just buying them. So I'm happy to support that. And then I thought it was really fun. I found one that was still needed a home. So that was really cool. This is really neat. I saw a documentary recently about World War II, and my husband found this online list of books about women in World War II, and they run from kids' books to young adults all the way up. And this was on the list, and I just looked at that list a couple days ago, and then I found this one, and I thought it must be fate, or I've conjured it out of thin air. This is the theme. So this is Codename Lisa, or Lisa, and the true story of the woman who became World War II's most highly decorated spy by Larry Loftis. And I am excited to check it out because it was just sort of in the air. Isn't that fun when you find a book and you weren't really looking for it specifically, but it really speaks to what you've been thinking about, what's been on your mind. So cool, like a treasure hunt. This has been on my list for a long time. I'm trying to get this from the library. A Woman of Intelligence by Karin Tanabe, the author of the Gilded Years. I think that I have another book by her on my list, or I've read a book by her or something, but this has been on there for a while. This is obviously brand new, and it cost me $4 whole. And that's a little high, honestly, for popular fiction, but I've been looking for this one for a long time, so I went ahead and snagged that one. I found a vintage Agatha Christie. I am on such an Agatha Christie kick. I am really enjoying it. There's so many books. She was prolific, and she's really cool, and her life story is cool, and I think her writing style is really fun, and I just never read them. I don't know how I've been missing this, but I have been setting them aside. My to-be-read shelf, I sort of curate a group of books and try to balance out. So I've been reading about one Agatha Christie per to-be-read shelf. So this one will go on standby. This is a really neat one. I think it's price clipped. Here's the dust jacket. I think somebody has cut off the price, which is a good sign because I think it's not book club, which is rare. Although a lot of the vintage ones I found are book club. It does have, on the back, you can quite see this, right here, a little indent. And sometimes on book club editions, that's the only mark. It's called the slug, and it's a little, just smash it in there. And that's what differentiates it from the original copy. So you can tell it's a reprint. This one, so I was thinking that corner that I thought, oh, this might be the price is clipped off. That might be where it said Book of the Month Club. Could be. I don't really mind. It's vintage. It's really nice. Sometimes the paper quality in a book club edition is really thin, and you can see through the paper to the text on the other side. Not my favorite, but this one looks good. So I think this will be really fun to read. I really like, there's something about reading a vintage copy of the Agatha Christie's that adds to the experience. So I'm enjoying that idea. This was $3.50. Very specific. And I'm super jazzed about that. That's treasure. I found this, Winnie the Pooh. This is a really fun edition. I think I have a video about the different editions of Winnie the Pooh. I always pick them up because if you can sort of reunite them with the rest of there's 4 main books in the series, then you can find them a new home. Sometimes I'll sell them on eBay. This one was $2.50, which is not bad at all because it's in very good condition. These books are generally beloved to pieces, so that's kind of rare. The cover has a little bit, something happened here, but otherwise some pretty good nick, as our British friends would say. It's got this cool map on the end papers, and this edition, I want to show you, takes me back. This edition, this is the copyright page, and down here it says reprinted September 1961, and I think this is just a reprint. I don't think this is a book club. And the 60s version is sometimes more sought after by the current generation because the movie version of the books, the sort of new, latest one, the title sequence, it shows the cover of the book and then the book opening, and it is this cover. So some people feel like this is the right one, but this is the 60s, 50s, 60s. There's an earlier edition that is harder to get with dust jackets, but I think that you might be able to get a bargain price on those because it isn't the movie version. And then this is my gamble. Grimm's. This is the Heritage Press. Heritage Press are fun. They come in a slipcase. And then this one is nice. It has a little bit of textured fabric cover. And this feels kind of embossed and inked in. So it tends to be kind of a nice gift quality type book. They have a little bit that go on the shelf. They come with this periodical called The Sand Glass, and it gives a little bit of the history. Grimm's Heritage Press, I know, has several different editions. And this one says 1980, which I want to say isn't that long ago, but actually over 40 years ago. It's got this really pretty. So I don't really know what this is worth because there are different versions. There's different editions that Heritage Press did of the tales. Grimm's Fairy Tales and Anderson's sometimes is a dual set. This one is only one, and I don't really know. I'm sure it's worth more than $5. So I'm taking a little bit of a gamble. It's like buying my lottery ticket, and I will sell this one on my eBay page, and that will help me afford all these other books that I already bought. So I'm kind of pre-spending my allowance, but I will list this one, and I have faith I will find it a new home, and then hopefully it'll balance out the rest of the books. So I got a really nice smattering. I also got 2 books for the present shelf that I cannot show you. So I got a nice little few books. I had a really good time. It was really great browsing around. I feel like I found treasures, so it's very rewarding. So thank you again to everyone who is encouraging me to keep book shopping because it's really fun. So thanks again. Happy reading.